Tonight, 4 months on from the devastating floods and storms, the desperate call out for donors to the Eyre Peninsula's Disaster Fund. And call in the cranes. Deconstruction begins at the contentious COVID facility in Port Augusta.
From our 7 Spencer Golf Studios, your nightly news with Madeline Kerr begins now.
Good evening, thanks for joining us. The Eyre Peninsula Community Foundation has activated its disaster fund in the wake of storm and flood damage that impacted many local townships earlier this year. The foundation is calling upon the community to dig deep to help with the rebuild.
An important fund supporting those in need. The Eyre Peninsula Community Foundation activating its disaster fund in wake of January's storms.
Activated the disaster fund in March to assist people who are impacted by a storm and a flooding event around Carmans, Yolana and Carcoo towards late January.
The fund was last set into motion a decade ago after the 2012 Sleaford fires. The tax-deductible funds aim to assist in the recovery in those local townships.
Depending on the disaster is who we work with. Like if it's a major event, we would work with an organisation who have the skills and capabilities to correctly distribute funds to people who are in need.
Despite the previous state government offering up $19 million to repair roads and infrastructure across the EP, this disaster fund hopes to help locals who lost their homes and suffered from long-term damage.
Well, usually it needs to be a disaster as declared by the state government. That didn't happen because it was such a localised event, but we heard word through the Lower Eyre Peninsula Council that there were people who were severely impacted by the storm and by the flooding, and they could do with a hand.
The EPCF is also taking people straight into the danger zone, hosting a preview to the new Top Gun movie along with the Paul Lincoln Cinema, where a portion of ticket sales will go towards the foundation.
I feel the need for speed.
On the 25th of May at our local cinema, we'll be having Maverick, Top Gun, which will be another exciting event, and that'll be done as a preview. The worldwide release is on the next day, but we're going to get in early on the preview.
Henry Millick, 7 Spencer Golf News.
A COVID quarantine centre on the west side of Port Augusta is today being deconstructed and will be completely cleared out by the end of the month. SA Health saying there is no longer a need for the facility in the city, as Edward McCarroll reports.
Port Augusta is closing the chapter on a turbulent time of COVID management in the city, with the Press Road quarantine facility wrapping up operations. The site's closure brought on by low occupancy numbers, with the last of the COVID-positive guests departing on the 6th of May. Crews were on site today dismantling various structures and storage containers, while many of the temporary housing huts were being craned back onto trucks ready to be removed.
The Press Road facility was there for a reason and a purpose. We understand that. I suppose the point that it impacted on Port Augusta was the local residents that live close to that area and the lack of consultation.
The location of the quarantine facility has been debated since it was constructed in early January, with many locals on neighbouring properties happy it is being removed.
We can help transfer that information to our community, and I'm sure you'll get feedback, positive and negative, but if it's understood what's occurring and not a surprise pack, then I think it could be a success.
The Port Augusta Council says they wish that SA Health was more transparent about the project from the beginning, so they could have tempered community backlash.
So if these type of projects or facilities are to action again in Port Augusta, make the consultation with the council, as me as the mayor, at least let me know.
SA Health says the site is no longer needed as the health network switches over to a living with COVID response, adding COVID-19 positive people will still be able to access support services through local primary care providers and Aboriginal health services. SA Health says despite the facilities shut down, there will be continued focus on protecting our most high-risk and vulnerable community members.
Broken Hill's Astra Hotel has hit the market. Licensees David and Marianne Trinder have decided to sell the popular venue after 22 years to take a step back from the hospitality industry. The building features fine dining, a pub, cafe, pizza restaurant, as well as hotel accommodation. The Astra has been a staple of the Broken Hill hospitality scene for a number of decades. CBRE Hotels are the agents facilitating the sale, if you'd like to know more details about it. Still to come tonight, the Port Lincoln organisation helping locals overcome housing challenges. We take a look at how Broken Hill's PCYC renovations are coming along. Welcome back to 7 Spencer Golf News. The Red Cross in Port Lincoln is revamping its assistance care and housing program by lending a hand to those struggling with hoarding and squalor. The program looks at removing clutter and storage from people's homes in the hopes to relieve some anxiety and stress.
Clearing out the old and stepping into the new. The Red Cross in Port Lincoln is helping people remove clutter from homes in its new assistant care and housing program.
So we work with community members who are at risk of losing their house or don't have housing themselves and they need to be over 65. So it's funded by the federal government under the CHSP program.
The organisation currently has 2 ACH workers, the only ones in the state. The team working tirelessly, helping those experiencing excessive hoarding in their homes.
There's a lot of myths and mysteries around hoarding and squalor, and it's basically people who struggle to, regulate their house and the cleanliness of their house, and that puts them at risk of losing their home.
The team assisting well beyond that of just removing the physical burden.
The mental health issues that come along with hoarding and squalor, often we can't just go in without them knowing and chucking everything out because it'll all be back again. So we actually have to deal with the root cause of that and work with the clients. So where stuff goes, sometimes it goes to the tip, sometimes it goes to the op shop.
Some houses becoming unsustainable and unsafe to live in. Jono and his team working closely with people to improve their living conditions.
Is this something you need to keep, or is it something that we can potentially get rid of and free some space up? And again, that's never a band-aid to be pulled off. That's often a conversation, and it's a long-term journey.
If you or someone you know is having trouble in their homes, you can contact Red Cross Port Lincoln on 08 6557 1250. Henry Millick, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Broken Hill PCYC is getting some much needed renovations, with upgrades well underway to its kitchen and outdoor field areas. While the works have caused some disruptions to the program, staff say they're excited about the improvements.
Ready to cook up a storm. Builders are hard at work renovating the kitchen facilities. Both the kids and staff will be excited once they are done.
I think they would probably miss some of the programs that we run. We run a program in the mornings on a Wednesday morning with the young kids. It's called Fit for Life, and that's where it's really just an engagement thing with the young kids.
There has been some disruption with the Fit for Life program, as those who attend are provided with a healthy meal before heading off to the classroom.
We have breakfast, so the kitchen upgrade's going to be fantastic for that. And then we were able to put them on the bus and then we take them to school.
The kitchen isn't the only thing getting fixed. The field area behind the building is also getting a facelift, after the lead levels in the ground were tested to make sure everything was safe. While the kitchen is being funded by a government grant, the Environment Protection Authority is being the money for the field upgrade.
In the EPA, they were able to make those changes, and they're actually funding it through the EPA.
While the staff have been able to have some input into the design of the kitchen, the EPA has taken the lead outside.
In regards to the yard, the work that's being carried out now is purely their design. Concerns that I did have, they were more than happy to listen to them and take them into consideration.
They also have a message for those that help the club out.
I'd like to thank all our supporters too. There's a lot of business houses out there that actually support us and donate to PCYC to our programs.
The club is hoping to be back in action by next week. Joshua Mercer, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Stay with us after the break. A new milestone reached in linking Port Augusta commuters to other parts of the Spencer Gulf, and how kids in Broken Hill can get up close to a fire truck as part of the Fire and Rescue New South Wales annual open day. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. Port Augusta is hosting a community walk this Saturday to celebrate the partial opening of the new bridge. Residents are encouraged to make a day of it with a sausage sizzle and entertainment for the kids.
An iconic piece of Port Augusta infrastructure has had a facelift. A new segment of the duplicated bridge is opening to the public tomorrow, with locals encouraged to check out the new addition before the traffic takes over.
6,000 people having the opportunity to spend the time on the new bridge. There'll be food stalls, there'll be information, there'll be tours.
Various community organisations such as the Lion Club and Anderson Dancers are rallying behind the launch event. Regional Roads Minister Jeff Brock will also be at tomorrow's launch, there to be officially open the new part of the bridge.
I really encourage anybody that's got that opportunity to have a look at this icon. It's amazing what they've done. It's very professional. Alliance have been nothing but professional through this whole process.
Construction crews have finished the driving service, painted the road lines and created a new pedestrian access, a feature the Mayor is particularly proud of, saying he expects it to bring tourism to the city.
I think the project has been managed well and the community has come along for the ride. So there hasn't been any negative issues that I'm aware of why this is happening, and that makes a lot of difference. The community come along when there's a positive outcome and a positive outlook for our city.
Access to this event will be available from the Westside foreshore and buses will run every 15 minutes from the car park. Annabelle Francis, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Broken Hill Fire Station 238 will open its doors tomorrow for the annual Open Day. It'll be the first time in 3 years the station has welcomed some of the Silver City's fire truck enthusiasts, keen to see a big red truck up close.
Calling all firefighters. Broken Hill Fire Station will be one of hundreds across New South Wales holding an open day tomorrow. The annual event is the perfect family day out with entertainment for kids and education for the adults.
Any parents and kids that come tomorrow, they should be able to expect some fire demonstrations, be able to catch up with the local firefighters, ask them any questions about fire safety throughout their home.
It's been a while since the station was able to hold an open day, but it's full steam ahead for tomorrow from 10 a.m.
We've sort of missed the last couple of open days due to COVID, obviously with the restrictions and so forth, trying to make sure that we stay safe and fit and so forth so that we can obviously look after our community.
The firefighters are excited to welcome locals back into their headquarters so we can have a peek of what's involved in the job of a fiery.
Yeah, we love seeing the community and the kids, especially the kids, rock up to the fire station on open day because it's sort of, they can see what we do.
The day isn't just for families either. If you have ever wanted to become a firefighter, there's no better time to head on down and ask some questions.
If anyone's got any idea of joining the brigade, they should come down, and if they've got any questions, we can talk to them about recruitment, whether that's through our retained or our permanents. At the moment, we are recruiting for retained.
And if you can't make it tomorrow, there's something our local fireys would like you to remember.
Everyone, please make sure you've got a working smoke alarm because smoke alarms save lives.
Joshua Mercer, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Stay with us after the break. We preview the weekend's footy games across the Spencer Gulf and over the border in Broken Hill. And we'll have the weekend weather details with Alex Sykes. Welcome back to 7 Spencer Gulf News. Bennett Oval will play host to Whyalla Football League's top 2 teams tomorrow. The A-graders battling it out from 2:20. Here's this week's footy tips for leagues right across the Spencer Gulf.
It's round 4 of Whyalla football gets underway on Saturday, and it's a big day for Central Whyalla and Rupina playing in an Indigenous Family Day. These two teams are sitting top of the ladder. It should be an outstanding game, and I might just lean to the Roosters to get across the line there. Another great game will be on Saturday at Memorial Oval. Teams who are 3rd and 4th at the moment. Roona Bay versus West Whyalla. Both teams should be playing finals, and maybe the Dragons on their home ground to get across the line. And finally on Sunday, the team's yet to win a game so far this year, so someone's going to sing the song for the first time. It's North Whyalla versus South Whyalla, and I think it'll be the Magpies that'll be singing their song come Sunday afternoon.
Hello and welcome to round 4 of SGL football. This round sees Port make the trip to Port Augusta to take on South at Central Oval. Port broke through for their first win of the season last week, while South are coming off a loss and will be looking to bounce back. I'm going to tip South. Over at Chinnery Oval, it's West who host Central. West are yet to break through for their first win of the season, while Central have just a draw to their name. I'm going to tip Central. In Port Pirie, it's the match of the round with Solis taking on the Lions. With both sides undefeated and the spectre of last year's grand final hanging over it, this game should be a ripper. I'm tipping the Lions.
Welcome to Portland Footy Tips and round 4. We kick things off as Mallee Park host Waybacks. Mallee Park are always strong at home, and they lost in a close game on the weekend. I can't see them doing it two weeks in a row. I'm tipping Mallee Park to win this one. In the next game, and probably match of the round, we've got Lincoln South, who are big improvers, taking on Marble Range at Centenary Oval. Marble Range only got away with 1 point win against Tasmans last week, so probably want to assert some dominance. South, on the other hand, are a fast-moving team. It'll be a good game, and I'm tipping Marble Range to win this one by 3 goals. In the last game at Pool Oval, we got Boston's in their 50th year hosting Tasmans. This will be a great game, and I really hope Boston's can get up for a win. I can't see it happening though. Tasmans are looking really strong. I'm tipping Tasmans to win this one, but in a close one. 3 goals.
Tomorrow in Broken Hill, we see the completion of round 3 of local footy. It was a split round. Last week, Central and South did battle. Tomorrow, it's North and West at Jubilee Oval. Who's going to win? It's a tough call. The Battle of the Rucks tomorrow, Wells and Pettit for North, up against the big boy Nelson and young Turley from West. Who's going to win that? That could decide the game. 2 strong midfields. I'm tipping North in a close one by 10 to 20 points.
Time now to take a look at what's happening in the weather with Alex Sykes. Alex, a bit of a mixed bag this weekend.
Good evening to you and our viewers, Maddie. And that's right, we really will have quite a contrast in the weather over the next couple of days. But in some good news, next week is looking mighty fine. Let's first take a closer look at today's conditions. From 3 p.m, it was cloudy and 22 in Port Lincoln. Clare was 21 and Cooper Pedy was mostly sunny and had a high of 25 degrees. It was partly cloudy and 24 in Port Augusta and Port Pirie. Broken Hill was cloudy and 15, Whyalla and Woodner reached 23 and Kadina was 22. Taking a look at the satellite image now, cloud over South Australia's east associated with a weak low pressure trough is not bringing any rain. Cloud over the west and south ahead of an approaching front is bringing a few showers to the southwest. High pressure is keeping conditions mostly clear elsewhere. Moving on to tomorrow's weather outlook now, and we'll start with the Gulf waters. North to northeasterly winds 10 to 15 knots, reaching 20 to 25 knots in the late evening. Seas will be around a metre and south to southwesterly swells below a metre. Wet conditions are forecast across the region. Tomorrow, Port Lincoln will have a shower or 2 and 21 degrees. Possible shower in Cleve with 22 and Woodner to top 23. Cloudy in Whyalla and Port Augusta and both set to reach 23 degrees there. And Kadina will have a morning shower or 2 and reach 22. Possible showers in Port Pirie and Clare, and Broken Hill will be partly cloudy and get to a top of 21. Taking a look further through the week now, those showers will have cleared by Sunday, except in Port Lincoln and Adelaide. Sunny in Port Augusta and Cooper Pedy. Port Pirie and Woodner will be mostly sunny and reach 23 degrees. Partly cloudy in Broken Hill with 21, Whyalla 22. A look at next week now, sunny in Cooper Pedy and Broken Hill on Monday with partly cloudy conditions forecast everywhere else. Whyalla and Port Pirie to reach 20 degrees. Port Lincoln and Kadina 19, and Port Augusta and Woodner both set to top 21. To Tuesday now, possible shower in Port Lincoln, mostly sunny across the border in Broken Hill with 18 degrees. Partly cloudy in Whyalla and Port Pirie both reaching 21, and Port Augusta and Woodner both to top 22 degrees. Wishing you and everyone a wonderful weekend. Hopefully tomorrow's conditions don't put a damper on things. That's all the weather from me for tonight. See you a little later with an update. It's back to you, Maddie.
Thanks for that, Alex. And that's the local news this Friday. I'm Madeline Kerr. Thanks for joining us. I'll have updates later, but until then, enjoy your evening. See you Monday. Good night.